So 5 steps. Give us a more concrete idea of the kind of 5-step plan that you might propose to a teenager, let's say.
Okay, so once the parents off his back, right? Mm-hmm. So step number 1, how are you getting yourself up in the morning? Because that, if you can get, so let's make that the first step. Let's figure that out,
all right?
So of course they have an iPhone or an iPod or something, or alarm clock. All right. So if you got yourself up in the morning, would that eliminate some conflict?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have to agree with that. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
When you get to school, sort of handling what you have to do at school, attending your classes, doing what you need to do. Could that be a second step? They might say, no, Lynn, I got that down. I mean, I'm fine. I don't need my parents on my back. And then they might say, what, the second step actually might be if you could tell my parents to stop checking. Now, in New Hampshire, it's called Power School, which is where parents can go online. You can look at every assignment that your kid has handed in, every grade.
Really?
Yeah, it's all averaged out. You can, I mean, it's a tool of micromanagement.
Wow.
That is, in my opinion, not so helpful for kids developing their own independence. But
autonomy.
They didn't ask me. So they might say, well, step 2 would be my parents to tell them that they can't check Power School. And I say, at all? Okay, they can check Power School once a month. All right. Step number 3, when you're home after school, what might be the step there that would reduce conflict? Step number 3. My parents always get on me because I'm in my room with the door shut and they want me to engage more in the family. And I say, well, is that a legitimate issue? And they'll go, well, sort of. I mean, we have dinner at night, but I like to be in my room. I don't know why they need to be in there all the time. Okay, so the next step might be that we're going to have a little meeting with your parents, and we're going to figure out what might be a reasonable way to handle that, because you do want your privacy and you do want to be in your room, and there's nothing wrong with that. We just need to figure this out with your parents. Step number 4, bedtime. Is that a source of conflict? I go, well, yeah, I mean, and I go, well, how is it a source of conflict? Give me an example. Well, my mom found out that I was texting at 2 in the morning, and I was keeping my phone under the pillow, and it was waking me up, and so now she's taken my phone out of the room at 11 o'clock at night, and that pisses me off. All right, so step number 4, what's a reasonable time of day that you are going to hand in your phone? Right? So can you come up with one and we present it to your parents? Maybe that's step number 4. Step number 5, that might be he's got to start looking at colleges, or he's got to start, getting a job or whatever. But it's going to be that concrete. So I'm writing all these things down. I'm making boxes on a piece of paper and putting each one in a box. And then at the end, right, so the result of moving through these 5 steps is there's going to be less conflict. And then I will say, and the result of there being less conflict is then there will be less Lynn Lyons, right? And isn't that step number 5 is get rid of me. Which is great, right? So let's work toward getting rid of me and see how that works, right? So we're constantly talking, but you're right, I'm very directive. I don't sit back and say, well, how did that make you feel? If they want to talk about their feelings, that's fine, but it's going to be truncated by me because we're going to get into problem solving.